Alright guys, Gemini back with another video, and we'll start the video with my famous plugs, of course. Gemini888 on Twitter and Vincent Flair on Facebook, and a lot of cool things happening right now, so the channel's really catching some traction, doing well. It's pretty incredible and flattering that I've been making videos all this time and finally people are starting to kind of catch on and kind of paying attention, so I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're watching, so thank you and welcome in. Okay, what we're going to discuss in this video today is there's a lot of rumors about the Mcmahons possibly selling the WWE, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you think about it, maybe the WWE will actually, or maybe the Mcmahons will actually sell the WWE to someone who isn't so bored running the wrestling business because they've been doing it forever. They don't care anymore. It's pretty obvious the way the McMahons run the show that they really don't give two shits about the WWE fans anymore. I mean, think about it. The things they do on Monday Night Raw, they insult the fans' intelligence. They have this terrible PG rating. They couldn't care less about really anything anymore except WrestleMania, and we basically get an average flat show for the rest of the year. Maybe if WWE sold it to somebody who was hungry, somebody who was interested in really entertaining the fans, maybe it necessarily wouldn't be a bad thing to have someone running it with a new perspective, a fresh perspective over the wrestling business. Could it go really bad? Could it fall in the hands of the wrong person and get worse than it is? Probably. But really, how could the current WWE product get worse than it is? I mean, you have an owner like Vince McMahon who really is completely out of touch with reality. You know, Vince McMahon just gets up in the morning and says, "Who am I going to fire today?" And Vince McMahon gets up in the morning and doesn't hear the fans booing his world's champion, John Cena. I mean, Vince McMahon gets up in the morning and, you know, he has a world champion who wasn't there, you know, defending the title, you know, being a proud champion. I mean, this guy's off drinking a soda on the couch. You know, whiz. I'm just saying, I mean, maybe they need a young, hungry, energetic person. You know, like, gee, I mean, think about it. Look at what Eric Bischoff did in WCW in the mid-90s when he was young and energetic. He took a struggling company and he launched it to the moon with new, innovative ideas. You know, all of McMahon's ideas these days are old and failing. And Triple H and Stephanie, honestly, are doofuses that don't have a clue about the fans or what to do. They're doofuses. They are. Their show is dumb on Raw. It's unentertaining. It's old. It's stale. There's nothing new. You know, maybe somebody new comes in there and throws some new graphics on there, and throw some new ideas on there, throw some new wrestlers in there. Maybe wrestles a new style of matches that we haven't seen for the last 20 years. It makes it interesting again. You know, it puts some new, fresh perspective and ideas back in the wrestling product. It makes us want to watch again. You know, the McMahons, especially Vince, he's a hell of a promoter. A hell of a promoter. You know, he was running this thing great for many years, but in 2014, the old man's outdated and he's out of touch with reality. Just doesn't have it anymore. Doesn't have any more good ideas. The WWE is stale. It's flat. They need some new energy. They need some new life. And maybe them selling would be a win for the wrestling fans. Like I said, maybe they get some young stud in there or some young female in there. You know, maybe a young girl buys this thing. Maybe she's been watching wrestling her whole life, has new ideas, has tons of energy, ready to give it her all or his all and run this thing and make. When Vince was hungry back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, when Vince was hungry, WWF was great. But when he got not hungry, when WCW went under, man, it's just not good. The guy just flat doesn't care anymore because he doesn't have competition. All the wrestling fans pay for it. Was seen as the champion, and I'm a John Cena fan, but everybody's had enough. So, like I said, I'll close this down. I'll just say, maybe the McMahon selling is such a bad thing. I'm just saying. Leave your comments below. Gentlemen, peace out.